Hi, I'm Shelby Lynn, and today I'm going to share with you how I learn, which has directly resulted into how I'm going to learn art, drawing, painting, Blender, and all the extra other classes that I'm going to share on this channel in the future. Breaking it down, I'm a pretty dissatisfied individual when it comes to being fulfilled by my own individuality. I'm constantly trying to strive and learn and better myself, either through self-help books or different topics or understanding different point of views. I'm constantly out in the world seeking information. Caveat number 2, I have a binge personality. Books, food, movies, TV, you name it, I'll probably binge it. There's probably something wrong with the dopamine in my brain that I've got to retrain, but let me tell you, I've already done a bunch of research on that. So we're using the research that I've done there to kind of apply it into how I'm going to overcome these personality traits when it comes to how I'm going to learn. I think it's very important to set up a pro and a con list. That way you can take your strengths and try to amplify them during your learning journey. And you take your negatives, your cons, and you just try to squash them down and work on changing them and overcoming them. So my pro for this type of personality, binging and constantly driven, is, well, I'm ambitious. That can be a good thing, where you're constantly wanting to improve and overcome, and you literally take the time and you adapt the skills needed to find the information. I think being ambitious can be a good thing. Number 2, well, I have an intense love for learning. I will constantly be able to learn and be humble about it. Like, I don't know anything. From one minute to the next, I could go, I'm a baby, teach me. So an intense love of learning. I'm pretty entertained and happy all the time because I'm literally driven and motivated by the self. I've got a lot of things that fill me up as a person and keep me happy. 4, I'm usually pretty focused until I find the answer. 5, I don't give up. If I have something that I actually really want to pursue, it may take me forever, but I don't let it go. I'm like a dog with a bone. It's not great. Now, I could probably try and be nicer to myself and come up with some more pros, but we're going to dive right back into the cons. Con number 1, I can go down rabbit holes. Different questions in my mind could lead me into different research avenues, which would spark other questions, and then I would head down those rabbit holes. Taking in information can be very dangerous if you don't know where to focus your mind on and then where to cap it off. I normally don't know when to cap it off. I'm constantly moving on to the next thing. Con number 2 means I can easily be persuaded to change my mind sometimes. Depending on the new information that I have found, my ideas, my wants, and my inclinations can tend to change based on the information. So one minute to the next, I could be like, oh, I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do that. I don't think that's really great in being able to be persuaded so much by the research that you're doing and by the information that you come in. It makes me feel naive at times when that happens. It makes me feel a little bit lost. I don't like that one. And number 3, which is probably one of the most ones, is it could lead to information burnout. There's only so long a person can actually go unless you have mania, which at one point I did in my life, where you just go and go and go and go and go on a topic. But now that I've focused on myself and have more healthy habits and have been able to become more of like a normal person, I don't have mania anymore. And I get burned out if I go down certain research avenues. My mind is like, nope, you do not have the mental illness of mania to keep going down this information rabbit hole. I have to stop, and I get burned out, and I can feel the dopamine release. I can feel myself just fall. I get deflated, and everything else in my life becomes deflated as well. I've gotten so much better at overcoming this con because I've been able to create all my other learning steps that I'll get into. But this one can be quite scary. It's information burnout. Sorry, I've overshared and I've made myself insecure, and I'm probably sure that I've made someone else out there uncomfortable as well. So let's breeze past these last cons. I have a hard time prioritizing practice over knowledge. Most of the time, my knowledge has been prioritized over practice, where I think, oh, I'll practice later, and then I'm on to the next thing and learning about something else, instead of taking the time to practice the skills that I need to actually absorb and cement the information into my mind, at least even in a different way than just reading. Next is I have a hard time relaxing. It takes me about 20 minutes to literally focus and go, I'm going to relax now. I'm going to meditate now. I'm going to stop working. Those thoughts make me upset that I'm not working anymore. That shouldn't be normal. Well, it is my normal though, and I'm sure it's a lot of other people's normals, but I view it as a con that I can't just sit back and relax from my life, from working, from absorbing information. And lastly, because for some reason I thought this was important and it made it onto the list of all the other pros and cons that I could have put on it, it can make me into an annoying know-it-all person. Not everyone is going to want to know the nitty-bitty, little gritty stuff that sometimes I can learn from research and just understanding different topics and be like, well, I read this study. Well, I looked into this PubMed article and I looked and learned from this doctor, blah, 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 blah. I'm very empathic to other people when I'm having conversations. I can tell when they're just shutting down and they're going, oh, she's doing it again. So mostly I've learned to keep my mouth shut on most of the things because a lot of people aren't interested in what I'm interested in that I've found so far. So I shut my mouth, but it can make you into an annoying person, which is why it made it onto my con list. But if it sounds so horrible, all this pros and cons, like how can I benefit from this? I've made a solution for myself. I've made a game plan. It's scaling back. I jumped into this whole learning art thing with buying Skillshare, buying courses on Gumroad, absorbing all the YouTube materials that I could, getting 21 in Draw, the Michael Hamilton books. I've got the Sculpting from Anatomy books. I've got the 21 in Draw books. Like, I just went full in. I even got some type of medical program for looking at anatomy, thinking, I'm going to have time to practice this. Well, the time that I have and allocated towards all of that is not enough. Therefore, even that has told me I need to scale back. And when I don't think I need to scale back, I need to scale back even further. Now, this is where the YouTube channel comes in. It's my accountability partner. It's keeping me from going overboard on binging information because I need to take what I'm learning, what I'm documenting, and what I'm actually practicing, looking at that in a list, and then putting that onto the YouTube channel of this is what I've learned, this is what I'm going to do. Making YouTube videos slows me down. Just trying to get all the information organized into my brain and out onto a piece of paper to even plan a video of what I have learned not only cements the information even more, it's freaking fantastic, but I have to take time and go over the information and practice, which is the big thing. The big thing to prioritize is the step 9 and the step 10 of my learning journey is practice and intentional practice. And as I'm slowing down and being able to make YouTube shorts, I have to put my practice into the YouTube shorts. That's been a rule. That's another YouTube accountability rule, is that I will put any practice that I've actually done and learning into the YouTube shorts. So every long form video is going to have a YouTube short attached to it, which means everything is going to boil back down to practice. So I hope I have not scared anyone away and I have adequately and eloquently enough, because I worry about that too, how well I speak on YouTube. It's not great. This is going to be a rough journey for me. Yeah, it's all out there. I lost my train of thought, but thank you for stopping by. This is how I applied the step 1, how to learn, to myself. And next week will be goals. Thank you. Goodbye. Toodaloo. Sayonara. Adios. Muchachos.